Hello everyone, and welcome to the sequel of one of my biggest custom reviews of all time, of course being my Sonic the Hedgehog custom review, one that you guys have really wanted me to make more characters of. Now this is kind of the second time I've done this video because in April I made an April Fool's video which was just kind of a bait and switch, like it was going to be this review, but actually it was I was gonna say Big Chungus, but that was another year, Rick Astley showcase. This time it's actually Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic figures. I've got them all right here. I wanted to do this showcase for the anniversary this year, but I kind of missed my window because they really celebrated the anniversary in June. Up until then, I could not find any information on when on the month Sonic was made. Like literally up until recently, I just thought that they were going to be celebrating all year, but apparently it was specifically June. I don't know why. I still can't find any information on when it was made. Maybe that's just because I'm a crazy person. But yeah, so I kind of had to rush up the figures because I was on a vacation most of June. I made some Sonic figures a few years back just for fun. I made Sonic there for my Super Smash Bros. Project. I also made a Tails figure and a Shadow figure, Knuckles, and a Sliver, and you can see all of those customs by clicking that link up there. But for now we're going to be reviewing some newer customs. Some of these are very new, some of them are kind of old because I recently, like last summer, I binged Sonic X and was so obsessed with it. I made quite a few Sonic figures and then focused on other projects and then made the other ones more recently. So some of them are newer than others, but that's okay. They're all pretty awesome. And yeah, I'm just going to get right into the figures. Our first figure is, of course, Amy, who is one that you guys really wanted me to make because my last video, she was really the only main character of Sonic that I didn't make because I made Tails and Knuckles and Sonic, and so she was really the only one that was really missing. And you guys really wanted me to make her, so yeah, I finally made her here. She is one of the first figures I made of this showcase, so she is not as new as the others, but that's okay. Her head is a helmet piece actually turned backwards like a motorcycle helmet, and that is inspired by Mr. Fuzzy Lego. He used to do that a lot. So it's the motorcycle helmet turned around, and then all of her little spikes are painted on there, or sculpted on there, as well as her ears and her little hairs up there, and this little part here, and the nose. I really don't know what this is. They all have it. I guess it's a snout, you could call it. I just don't really know what to call it. But this kind of fleshy part under her eyes there. She has the dual eyes like Sonic does and has green painted eyes there. She's got a little smile there just because I thought that would be a cool expression. She has a giant accessory, which is of course her huge hammer that she uses in many of the games. It's just made using one of these Technic pieces and some bricks on both sides attached to a gold bar. I painted it some to give it some of the designs that it has in the games, but I couldn't really capture everything because I didn't really want to mess up the pieces very much and the way that they're already designed. Other than that, her body is sanded. Her torso there is sanded like I sand most female torsos. Her arms are just a light flesh tone there, with some gold studs for the tops of her gloves there, and just some white hands. So that's like a minifigure stud, just chopped off there, which I do for most of the Sonic characters' gloves. And she has like a little white ring painted around her neck there. She has the Minnie Mouse skirt piece, which is painted completely red, with a white line at the bottom to be like her skirt. That's inspired by her LEGO Dimensions designs. Most of the original figures were inspired by the LEGO Dimensions designs, but some of the other ones were not in the game, or I didn't really like their designs in the game, so they have original designs, but she is inspired by her LEGO Dimensions figure. I did sculpt her tail in the back. It's just sculpted to be attached to her skirt, down there. And she just has some red shoes, some white stripes painted on there, and some silver at the bottom. And yeah, I think that's it. If I can find her hammer for Amy. The other figure many of you asked me to make was Dr. Eggman, and I have actually made a Dr. Eggman before. I made the Jim Carrey version for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie because I did make customs for that movie, but this one is based on the games, and I'm really proud of him. He was also made when I was watching Sonic X, so he is a little older as well, but he just has a normal light skin tone head there. For his goggles, I used the bottom of actual lever pieces, like the piece with the knob on it. It attaches inside of a brick. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but I usually use the top of it for ball joints, so I have a lot of the bottom part left over, so they're just used up there with some glow-in-the-dark painting on there to look like goggles. He has a big sculpted mustache, which I am really proud of there. And then he has the painted eyes there, or glasses, or whatever. I guess, yeah, it's glasses with some brown eyebrows. The one thing I really don't like about him is his mouth. He kind of has a toothy smile there, which is a little bit weird. It looks a little weird from underneath. Oh, sorry, yeah. It looks a little weird under his mustache like that, but I think it looks, overall, the figures look so great. I didn't really want to change it much. His torso was actually fully sculpted onto a minifigure torso and a brick. It's just like this big circular part to be like his egg-shaped body, and it has all of the little details of his jacket painted on there with the little parts here and there and the buckles and everything. And then his arms are actually the Woody arms from Toy Story because they're a little bit longer, and I like that for him. And they're painted red with the yellow tops of the minifigure heads and some white gloves there. And then his legs are actually some minifigure legs with an extra foot added at the bottom. If you can, it's kind of hard to see there because his legs are black. But essentially, I chopped off. Here, let me just take a minifigure leg here. Shadow, for example. I basically took the foot off the leg, off of another leg, and attached it to the bottom to make him just a little bit taller because I felt like the Woody legs were a bit too tall. And then his boots, I used E-tape for his boots and painted the silver details on there. And that is Dr. Eggman, but I do have something else that goes with him, and that is because I created his little thing he rides around in. I don't really know. Here's the thing. I explained this in the other video. I didn't really in this. I haven't played a ton of Sonic games. I really like the franchise, but I don't really know all the technical stuff. I've played quite a few, but I've played Generations. I recently have played Forces and some of Mania and the first game, but that's really it. So I don't really know the names of everything and stuff. But yeah, I built his little thing that he rides around in. Got some guns on the back, so I think he looks pretty cool in there, and he can chase around Sonic in it.
And that is it for Dr. Eggman.
Next up is probably my favorite figure of the showcase, and that is Metal Sonic. And yeah, I'm just really proud of this guy. Yeah, so he has a chrome body, so it's chrome with some blue mixed in. And his head is actually a Batman cowl because I liked how it was kind of taller. The back of a Batman cowl there. And then I sculpted his like 3 spikes up and then just sculpted on the back there some. And his ears and stuff. I actually forgot the ears, so I sculpted them on. That's like one of the last things I did was sculpted on and painted the ears. But yeah, he has the black eyes in there with the red pupils, which I think looks really cool. And then he has the sort of silver cheeks there with that spiky nose and the little bolts painted on the side. I'm really proud of his skeleton body. I considered using just a minifigure body, but I thought it would be really fun to try to create him in a skeleton body because that fits him a lot better. It's not perfect because he has a really weird shape design, and I didn't know how to recreate that in Lego. So I kind of had to add this extra hip piece there. That's not really super accurate. It's really just kind of the ball, and then the legs are attached to that. But yeah, I do have the chest and then like a sort of hip piece there. And then his torso has this indentation in the middle, and I painted it yellow and have all the little stripes in there to be like that thing on his chest. I don't know. Again, I don't know all the technical stuff about these characters. And then he has just some normal minifigure arms, or not minifigure, but skeleton arms. This was a normal skeleton torso. But one thing I did, because I wanted this character to be really, really cool, was I gave him ball jointed arms, and I do that a lot, but I did this in a very different way than usual. So typically I use the tops of antenna pieces, or not antenna but lever pieces. This is the top of an antenna piece, so like a really tall antenna piece that would go all the way up, and it has this little ball at the top. And a skeleton arm can actually fit on one of those perfectly. It's like the same length as a minifigure, or not a minifigure, but one of the pole pieces. So a minifigure arm can actually attach to those and be like a ball joint. I think I learned that from some YouTuber a very long time ago, but I can't even remember who at this point. The shoulder pads are sculpted onto the skeleton arms there, and they're just painted silver at the top, and then that metallic blue, and then silver with the black and yellow design there. His legs are just skeleton legs, except for I sculpted his little boots on there, his shoes. I think that looks really, really cool. And also I sculpted the part above his boots because it looked a little slim, and that part's painted the same blue. His legs at the top are black there with silver on the side, and his shoes are just red with one white stripe. And yeah, that's it for Metal Sonic. Our next figure is Blaze the Cat, who was a figure I'm very, very proud of. I think she's been in the least games out of all of these guys. I don't know what all games she's been in. I know that she first appeared in 06 and was in some other stuff. But yeah, so she's not in as much stuff as these guys, but I thought she looks cool with silver, and I just think she's a really cool character, so I wanted to make her. Her head uses the same motorcycle helmet technique. I just filled in the back. In fact, on this one, this was the first figure I ever did like that with the motorcycle helmet, so you can see where I filled it in on the back. And then I sculpted the fluff on her cheeks there, as well as this little white part here. And her eyes I just painted on. I sculpted around Amy's eyes and Metal Sonic's eyes, but her eyes are just painted on, much like the next figure. And then she has the ears, and then one of the hardest parts was the ponytail, actually. So the band is sculpted, and so are the three little parts of the ponytail, which was pretty hard to replicate. And then she has this purple, I guess, dress thing with just some simple details painted on the torso, her little gold necklace type deal. And her tail is sculpted. I think that's something I forgot and then did later. This figure, it's been a pretty long time since I've done, but I do remember forgetting to make that tail and then going back and doing it. Her arms actually use like some real cotton to be the little cotton fluffy part on top of her gloves there, and other than that they're just purple. She has the white gloves, and then her accessory I just gave her like a little piece of fire because she's Blaze or whatever. And then she has a little paper, I guess, kind of skirt, and then she just has the white legs there with some fluff on top of her heels there, which I actually did these a really cool way. I'm really proud of it, and I did the next figure like that too, to where they go up on this side and they go down on that side. I don't really know how to explain that. And then her boots are just painted this purple color with a golden buckle on the side. And that is it for Blaze the Cat. Last up is Rouge the Bat, the only other character who's like a pretty main character that I hadn't made. I think with this figure I pretty much nailed all of the major characters of Sonic the Hedgehog. She uses the same motorcycle headpiece technique with the back sculpted up and the little fur hair poking out on both sides, and she has the big bat ears and the painted eyes there, and then the nose is sculpted too. And her wings are actually some bat wings from like the Batman sets or so forth. I think they also use them for the Chima bats. Just painted a dark purple and attached using that neck piece that they attach a lot of stuff to. She has the big heart on her chest there, as well as her gloves here have a sculpted top part to them. Her accessory is a Chaos Emerald, just because most of the characters here don't have accessories, so I just kind of threw that in here kind of last second. And her pants are black with white heels there, and her heels are actually made the same way by cutting them up there and there, so they actually look like high heels. I think that is pretty awesome. And she has the pink bands at the top of her boots, just like she has at the top of her gloves, and some little hearts on her shoes there. And yeah, that is Rouge the Bat. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and also thank you for the support on the previous Sonic videos. This is one of my favorite projects to work on because the characters are always so fun and colorful, and it just makes me really happy you guys really enjoy these. So thank you for that, and check out the last video if you haven't seen it. And happy anniversary, Sonic. Happy 30th anniversary. I hope you have another awesome 35 years of content and games and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna have some more custom reviews soon, hopefully for Black Widow and the other Marvel TV shows, and some other things I'm working on. So if you want to see any of those, stick around. And I think that's it. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.